Well, welcome everybody to Ignite Humanity Live. I am your host, JB Owen, and I'm so happy to be here. And as you can see, we are back in our main studio. That's right, we're no longer on location. So if you've been watching us and tuning in, you've been seeing the fun places that we've been going to. And of course, it's always fun to come back home and be in our central location. So welcome to the show. We hope you're having a great day and something wonderful is happening in your life today. I want to just pour out some blessings to you right out of the gate and share with you how important it is for me to share a little love and blessings with you. We're all doing our very best to get through each and every day and do what we can to ignite our lives and the lives of others. And that's what the show is all about. We want to give you ideas and suggestions on how you can ignite humanity because, well, while I've been traveling, of course, I realize now more than ever we need to ignite one another. And of course, when we travel and we're outside of our homes and our small little ecosystems, we get to see the diversity and the uniqueness of one another. And yet, at the same time, we see people who are so much like ourselves. When you're on airplanes and you're traveling, or when you're in different locations and we're getting to meet different people with different feedback and different cultures and different understanding, it actually really widens out your perspective on what is possible. And the fact is, each and every one of us can absolutely get along, and even more so, really admire and feel endearing towards the people around us, learning from other people and seeing what they do, how they live, their culture, their food, the way they speak, the way they interact, how they connect with one another. It is actually truly very powerful, and it allows us to see that, well, in all honesty, we're not very different. We love to celebrate. We love to smile. I'm always fascinated when somebody speaks a completely different language and yet they have many of the same facial gestures, like what and ha ha ha. Like, it's interesting that the language is different, but our face and our energy and who we are is so similar. And at the same time, when you're meeting new people, you get to find out something new about yourselves. How many, by show of hands, would love to learn something new about themselves? Well, that's what this show is all about. We want you to learn a little bit about you, because when you grow and you foster and you expand, you actually give yourself the gift of igniting your life. And that, folks, is what's going to ignite humanity. How you treat yourself and where you're going in your world is a reflection of the people around you. And so you get to be a leader, you get to be a mentor, and you get to inspire others. And we want you to be a part of this show as often as possible so that you feel that inspiration and then you take it out into the world around you. Well, Ignite Humanity is all about igniting others. And the way we do that is bring people on the show and talk about their Ignite moments. Now, Ignite moments are those powerful moments in our life that change us and inspire us and in some ways redefine us. And those Ignite moments, while hearing them, they're heartfelt and they're endearing, and they wake us up to what's possible within ourselves. And so we have an amazing guest on the show today who's going to talk about his incredible Ignite moment. Now, if you're just tuning in, well, welcome. And if you'd like to know what we're up to, you can check us out on our website, ignitehumanity.life. We've got lots of things happening there. We're doing a docu-series and we're filming a movie. We're making a book, and we're doing some fun things because we really want you to feel dialed in to how you can ignite humanity. It's not something way out there. It's not something just the big people are doing and all the moguls and the business owners. No, each and every one of us, right in our homes, right in our businesses, right in our communities, can ignite humanity. And we would love for you to be a part of what we're up to. Now, if you haven't seen an episode and this is your first one, well, again, I say welcome. But if you'd like to see what we're up to, you can go to ignitehumanity.life/watch and see all of our episodes and all of the many things that we're up to. And as I just shared, we've been on location in Los Angeles. We've been filming people from all over different communities, sharing what they're up to. And those episodes, including ones here in the studio, are absolutely fantastic because we reach out to people all over the globe. We've had guests from India and Australia and London and the US and Peru, all over the world. And today we're off our way to South Africa to see one of our next guests, and we're going to bring him into the show. Well, Nolan Pillay is a human mindset specialist, life coach, speaker, enlightened warrior, and author of his latest book, My COVID Journey. Nolan is also a philanthropist. Together with his foundation, Be Your Best Version of Yourself, they work on various projects, and in 2022, they climbed one of the highest mountains in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro, to raise funds and give the gift of hearing to children. His core focus is on the youth in Africa, and he's created a moonshot, folks, transform 1 million lives in Africa. Welcome, Nolan, to the show.
Thank you so much, Lady JB. It's so great to be on your show today. I'm really looking forward to an amazing time with you.
Thank you
Thank
so much for being here. We so appreciate it. And we love that you're coming from the other side of the world because, well, the truth is, sometimes we feel like people on the other side of the world are different than us. And you and I both know that's not the case. What do you say to people who ask you, like, what's it like in Africa? Or how are we different? Or how are we similar? Do you have like a token answer? Is there a way that you like to share how, in truth, we're all like one another?
Absolutely. I'll always say to people, we're human. No matter where we are, what race, what sex, what culture we are, always look at humanity first. And when you put humans first, then everything else just falls away and you appreciate the person more. So no matter in Africa, people may think that we have lions, etc., running on the streets, but it's not so. We live a normal life like everyone else throughout the world. We have our own problems, etc. But what would the world be if there was no problems, right?
Well,
So
I live in Canada. People think we have polar bears running around the street also, and that we live in igloos. So it just goes to my point that we actually have these perceptions of how things are so different. And yet, I don't know about you, but every time I step off a plane in another country, I actually see the differences. But in truth, I see so much of the similarities. What can you share some of the similarities that you've experienced where you've been traveling or you've met other people? One of the sort of some of the common things that we all have in our human common denominator.
I think for me, it's more the connection, right? So no matter where you go, people want to understand who you are and where you're from, what's your culture, what's your background. And this is what brings up the connection piece because it allows us to understand people differently. So in my travels, I always like to meet new people and do a lot of socializing just to understand them better. And JB, I always say that no matter where we are, if you can understand my culture a bit more and I can understand yours, would we not get on like a house on fire? Would we not get on so well? So I always promote like, let's meet over coffee or whatever it is, get to know each other. Let's understand each other more.
Well, it's beautiful because today is Friday and we're talking about connections. It's one of the themes of the show. So I love that you led into it. Is there ways that you can suggest people can build connections? Because sometimes I know we're shy, especially the young generation. I have kids and I'm always encouraging them, say hello, reach out and shake somebody's hand, look somebody in the eye when you meet them. And, we're really needing to teach our younger generation how to create connections. Do you have some tools and things that you like to do to foster more connection with others?
I think for me, especially when you're in a different country, right? Try not to walk as if you like the Walking Dead. And what do I mean by this is don't walk with your head down like you're just really not interested in what's happening around you. When your head is up like this, a simple smile will attract that person into conversation with you. So I tend to do that very often. Like even if I don't know who they are, I'll actually greet them. When I go on my normal walks wherever, I'm so fond of just greeting everyone. Even if I don't know you, I'm meeting you for the first time. A simple hello doesn't cost nothing at all. And it brings about this kindness in a person. And from there, the conversation just leads to the next. And you wouldn't believe how it can actually grow. And you find so many similarities just by opening up the conversation. So the one thing I would like to say is, especially that I work with the deaf people a lot, is don't be afraid to speak to a person if they have a disability. Now, I can tell you something about the deaf community. They love socializing, but a lot of the hearing people tend to not want to communicate with them. But through my research, I found out that it's not that the hearing people don't want to communicate with them, they don't know how to. So a simple thing is strike up that conversation and you'll be amazed at the feedback you get from that person. Even if a person is deaf or if they can't speak, they will go onto their phones with all the tools that we have now. They can type in whatever they want to say to you, be it a greeting or so.
Oh, I love that. And thank you so much. Of course, I want to lead into the work that you're doing with people with hearing challenges. Tell us a little bit more because I find that fascinating. I agree with you. If somebody can't hear, we feel like speaking is the only form of communication, but it's really not. Facial gestures, using your hands, of course, learning a few small signs. Can you teach us at least one sign that we could say or greet somebody who has a hearing? This one?
This means I love you in sign language.
Perfect.
It's the most ideal sign ever. So, funny enough, you speak about sign language as well. When you work with the deaf people and start communicating with them, you just need the basic sign language to understand them. Because the more you with somebody or the more you're in their space, you automatically get to lip read them and understand what they're trying to say to you. You kind of figure this thing out so easy. So all it takes is just getting to know the person and understanding it. When I climbed Kilimanjaro, for example, I took 5 deaf people up the mountain with me, and I needed to learn basic sign language because if these guys were in trouble, how was I to help them if I don't know what they're actually saying to me or what assistance they actually need? I know we're going to talk a little about that, shortly as well, but it's not a major mission when you start understanding how to connect with people. And guess where it starts from?
Exactly. Starts from the heart, right? It starts from the heart. I mean, how many times have you met somebody who just speaks another language? It does not that they have hearing a problem, but just in their own language, a different language. You're communicating through pointing, through gestures, through an energy that you connect with one another. Fascinating that you shared all of that and that you climbed up Kilimanjaro with people who were deaf. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I'm just going to go back a little and give you the background to how it started. So in 2019, when I relaunched my company, one of the deaf contestants, she's late now, Ketiwe Madi, may she rest in peace, but she asked my audience and myself, she said, what if all of you here cannot hear and I'm the only one that can hear? Who's the one with the disability? And
Mm.
Lady JB, that was one of my ignite moments. It sent so many things going on in my mind, so many thoughts were going on when she was actually saying this. And of course, we had translators around so we could understand them. But there were so many thoughts that went through my mind. And I said to myself, I needed to do something for the deaf community. I needed to start bridging this gap between the hearing and deaf people. So, what can you do about this, Nolan? So, there were various thought processes. I went into a meditative state as well and just trying to understand what I could do. And guess what? Mount Kilimanjaro came to mind. One of the reasons why it came to mind is it's a dangerous mountain. You're putting your life at risk. So if people could see that here's a normal hearing guy together with other hearing people can put their lives at risk to help a disabled community, why can they not get involved and do something similar? So it was back then just a thought. And this is in 2019. We only climbed the mountain last year. So as the time went on, we decided to train. I decided to train with the deaf people so I could understand them better, taking inspired action steps, right? That's what got us there. I created this mental image that we're all on top of this mountain and we're holding up these banners to say, yes, we made it. All of these things. The driving force behind this was to give the gift of hearing to a child.
Mm.
Eventually, we managed to circulate 7 climbers. 5 of them were deaf, 2 were hearing. We went up the mountain. Their dreams came true. And when we got down from this mountain, we gifted 2 children, a 7-year-old and a 15-year-old, with hearing aids. Now, can you imagine this? For 15 years of your life, you can't hear, and suddenly you get hearing aids and you're able to hear a person. And this was a touching moment for me at the time when they implanted the hearing aid into this 15-year-old. The audiologist said what they were doing. They put it in, and a mother was on the other side, and the mom said, "Hello, Quasi." And Quasi turns to her mom and said, "Hello, Mama."
Wow.
I will do this over and over again just to look at the face of the child and the mother and know it's a priceless moment. Nothing can ever better that in any way.
Wow, what an ignite moment. I mean, really, when you think about it, not being able to hear for so many years and then actually hearing your mother's voice, how beautiful is that? But at the same time, I want to shine the spotlight on you a little bit because it's really powerful that you saw a problem or you saw something that you felt that you could do something about. Just one person. I mean, that's really what this is about. You're one person who decided to take 7 other people and do something powerful that helps 2 other people. And those 2 other people are going to go on to help more. And you've entirely changed that family. And you're a perfect example of how that ripple effect can truly ignite humanity because we don't know what will come of this amazing 15-year-old and what will come of all those people that climb Kilimanjaro. But you gave them the spark and you really ignited their life. And so bravo to you. I
Thank you.
love, love, love your message.
Thank you.
And you've got me excited because I know we've been talking ourselves about let's climb Kilimanjaro. Me and my husband are like, okay, Nolan, let's come with you to climb
Let's do it.
Kilimanjaro. Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about, if there's a way for us to learn more about your initiative and your idea to your moonshot. Tell us a little bit about that.
So my moonshot came about from a program I did a while ago, and the program was all about thinking big. And I learned this from the late legend Bob Proctor as well. And he says when you're setting goals, you don't just set small goals, goals that you know you can achieve. You set goals that are really hard to reach. Because when you set these hard to reach goals, at the end of the day, once you achieve it, it's such a difference. Now, why I say 1 million lives in Africa, if you look at the youth of today, they have so much of potential, unlimited potential. The problem is nobody's focusing their energy on helping them to become innovators, creators, better thinkers. And when I came up with this moonshot, I realized that, hey, why don't you do something about this? I have been mentoring the youth and teens for many years of my life. So why not step this up a level and go to a big target? So the whole idea behind the 1 million lives is to coach the youth for about 3 months, help them to be in the right state of mind. And once we get them in the right state of mind, we allow them to go into a trade of their choice. And in this way, by us giving them the opportunity to go into a trade, they now can sustain themselves for longer. They now can feed themselves and their family. Because let's be honest, Lady JB, gone are the days where we just want to feed somebody all the time, and they
Right.
get so used to that habit. Rather teach them how to fish and put them out into the world and get them to make a difference and create this ripple effect to other people.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I mean, kids need inspiration. I know, and obviously we'll talk a little bit about your book. COVID has changed the minds of many of the youngsters about what's possible for them and what they're capable of. And it's really changed the landscape of their future. And I love what you're doing to teach them a trade and get them excited about something, because if they really do what they enjoy and they get their hands involved and their talents, they actually want to get up every day. They want to do that work. It doesn't feel like work. And I'm with you. Don't just give them fish, teach them how to fish. Don't just do it for them. Teach them how to do it for themselves. And that will create a ripple effect in their children, and really improve humanity. See how it all works? Isn't it exciting?
It's all about connecting with the right people and just making an impact there. And it doesn't take much, right? Everything starts with the thought, of course, but what do you do with that thought? You just leave it lying there, or you take some action towards it to get the desired results that you want. And that could work with anything in life, your personal life, your career, whatever it may be. It all has to start with some thought.
Yeah, and you're a real action taker. Share a little bit about, you were struck with COVID, and from that experience, you chose to write a book a little about it. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, COVID was a blessing in disguise. Firstly, I must say this to everyone. You may think I'm insane for saying it, but really it was. So I was struck with COVID. I went in with 58% oxygen levels. I spent 13 days in the intensive care unit, facing real trauma on a daily basis. And real trauma is people dying every single day, and you're watching these bodies go past you. So you watch all of this, and you still have to focus on getting yourself out of this hospital. So some of the techniques that I used was daily meditation, prayer. I was visualizing myself out of that hospital. But it wasn't all rosy. On day 6, when I saw a doctor pass away, I gave up. I got in touch with my family, and I said, I can't do this anymore. And my daughter sent me something very special, JB, that I
Yeah.
carry with me every single day. It's called my goal card. She took a picture of it, and she said, Dad, don't forget what your purpose is. Immediately I had to come out from that victim or self-pity mindset and start focusing on getting out of that hospital, because there was still a bigger purpose. And this, by the way, was before climbing Kilimanjaro. And it happened at the time where the decision was made to climb Kilimanjaro, and I got hit with COVID. So I had to focus a lot. But while I was in hospital, I could barely breathe. And being an athletic person, I could barely take 10 steps. My breathing was totally not on. I had these pipes running through me to help me with my oxygen levels. But I recorded a video in snippets of about 45 seconds, and it came to about 3.5 minutes in total. And I put it onto social media to help other people not end up in the same situation that I was in. Because not many people were fortunate enough to fight this and get out of it, right? We lost millions of people. And this video went kind of viral in a way, and people said to me, Nolan, you need to tell your story.
Mm.
And I said to them straight up, I'm not an author. I've never been a writer, so I'm not going to do anything with it, until I came out from the hospital and I thought about this and I said, hang on a second though. If you write a book and explain your story, what you've been through, surely it's going to allow the people who've lost their loved ones to reach some peace and closure in their lives. That was the first thing. The second thing is all these tools that I used while I was in hospital could help other people going through whatever obstacles they are. So when I say COVID was a blessing in disguise, it allowed me to turn this painful moment into a success story and become a first-time author.
And you're like singing my praises because I love the idea of taking stories and telling them in a transformational way that inspires others. And that's exactly what your story did. You didn't become the victim of your story, you became the hero. And in doing that, now you've shared a message is going to inspire others. And I just think that's incredible. Bravo to you. And absolutely, if you want to share the name of your book, let everybody know so they can get a copy.
Sure, it's called My COVID Journey, Tools and Techniques That Got Me Through It. And if you just look at under Nolan Pillay on Amazon, you'll find it there.
Fantastic. And just a little bit diving in, you're actually now writing your story in one of our Ignite books, Ignite Your Faith. How's it been going in the writing process?
Oh, I love it to bits. You know what I'm really enjoying? When I wrote my own solo book, I didn't have all the privileges that I have now by writing the chapter for Ignite Your Faith. I mean, I've had 2 editing sessions already. The kind of support and love from the people that are in the community is absolutely amazing. It kind of pushes you to go over the edge, but over the edge as in giving off your best and making sure that the best story gets to the readers out there. I'm really enjoying it, and I know I have a session this week Sunday where it's called Polish Your Chapter, and that's with you. I'm so looking forward to it. But overall, it's a community of heart-centered people that have come together to assist them. And JB, I must say this to you: I'm thankful and grateful to you because without you, this chapter would not be possible in the book. So thank you for that. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much because when you tell your Ignite moment, and we know this, we've seen this so many times, hundreds of authors have shared their Ignite moment, it touches the life of somebody else. There's somebody out there in the world, Nolan, who absolutely needs to hear your exact story, if not many people. And what we know, and we're so gifted to be able to publish it, is that that is going to move the needle and ignite somebody else's life. And that really is going to do what we're designed here to do, which is ignite humanity. So thank you so much for that. Well, I'd like to put on the screen how people can find you. Is there anything you would love us to know about you that you haven't shared so far?
Well, I think one of the biggest lessons, or what I'd like to share with people, is that no matter what obstacle or challenge you're going through at the moment, just don't go through the challenge. Use it as an opportunity to learn from it and grow through it. Because when you adopt this mentality, you will elevate automatically. So don't be the person that wants to be the victim all the time. I've been through many challenges in my life, but I would not be here if I saw that as just a challenge and just became a victim to it and did nothing about it. We all don't have perfect lives. So go out there and make the best of this one and only life, God given life that we have. There's a much more for us to do. So go out there and live your purpose. Live a purposeful life.
So well said. And I just noticed your t-shirt, mindset plus soul set. What does it say?
Plus heart set equals greatness.
Mindset plus soul set plus heart set equals greatness. Absolutely, it does. I so appreciate having you on the show. I know you and I could talk forever. I find you so fascinating and so interesting, and I can't wait to be in your presence, like be with you one-on-one, get off the plane, give you a big personal hug,
Yes.
and then together we climb Kilimanjaro. And of course, I'm looking forward to your story polished later in the week. Thank you so much for being here. Big blessings to you and big hugs to Africa. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much, Lady JB. Take care.
As you can see, it's absolutely wonderful to meet people from around the globe who have so much to share. And I just love Nolan's t-shirt because mindset plus soul set plus heart set absolutely equals fantasticness. I forget what was at the bottom. I just made it up myself. Hey, that's a great idea. If you got a t-shirt idea, you should make it up because absolutely there is so many fantastic things that are going on in your life. Sometimes it's easy to focus on the negative. Nolan could have concentrated on the fact that how sick he was, but instead he decided to visualize and focus on how he could get better and come through COVID. And it's fascinating that with so much lung capacity compromise that he was able to climb Kilimanjaro, which is at one of the very highest altitudes for those of us climbing without oxygen. And so it's very interesting that he was able to heal himself and take himself there through his own mindset and the power of his initiative. I'd love to encourage you to have an idea and have a dream and something you want to go after. And maybe you could use the visualization that we have shared here to step forward into achieving that goal and going after exactly what it is that you like to do and wish to do. And in doing that, you inspire others. And by telling your story, your heartfelt, honest, genuine story of how you became a hero in your own life, you actually give others the power to do the same. Today was all about connection. And the second principle in Ignite Humanity is to unite all people and connect everyone. Now imagine that really unite all people. And we have the power to do that with social media and things like what we're doing right now, being on television. We can unite all people and we can connect everyone. Nobody has to be left behind. Nobody has to feel unincluded, and nobody ever has to feel uncared for. We have the ability to make sure that every single person is seen and heard and feels like they belong. Now, if you want to belong to an incredible community, well, we invite you to join us at Ignite. You can go to our Facebook page at Ignite You and find out what we're doing. And of course, you can go to our website, ignitehumanity.life, and see what we're up to. We would love for you to be a part of our community, and we welcome you because we want to unite all people and connect everyone. We want to make sure you're one of those people. Now, if you'd like to tell us your story and maybe be on the show, we'd love to hear from you. Go to ignitehumanity.life/share and fill out our type form and tell us what you're up to. Tell us what you've done. Give us your story and share how you feel your one contribution can make a massive ripple effect and ignite the lives of others. We'd love to have you on the show. And if you have a friend or family member who's doing something awesome, we'll fill out the type form for them and tell us what they're up to so we can include them. We are here every day, Monday to Friday at this time, and we want to share with you how you can ignite humanity, and we want to know what you're up to. So please make an effort to reach out to us so we can connect more. And last but not least, we are in the business of, and the spirit of, and the inclination of building schools around the globe. We truly want to ignite literacy and help individuals know what's possible for them, because we know that the younger generation, the kids, the upcoming, those people who are just stepping into what's possible for them, well, they're going to make a difference in our future. And so Ignite is building schools around the globe. And you can be a part of what we're doing by going to ignitehumanity.life/donate. Every single dollar you donate helps build a brick in one of our schools. And we're so excited to be traveling to Indonesia in May to build our very first school. Well, that's enough for me for today. I hope it's been exciting and enjoyable. I want to give you big blessings. May your life be filled with Ignite moments, and thank you for being here. Take care. We'll see.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.